want to take you now to the Supreme Court, where a big case is being heard. You're looking live as we speak at demonstrators outside. More protesters arriving by the minute because inside, justices are hearing one of the most consequential cases of this term on whether to greenlight President Trump's plan to end protections for hundreds of thousands of immigrants from deportation. This is the policy put in place by former President Obama. It's known as DACA, right? It affects people known as dreamers. NBC's Pete Williams is at the court for us.
Hallie, the court is hearing argument now, and here's the big question. If President Obama could start DACA simply by presidential action, why can't President Trump just stop it by presidential action? And what the defenders of DACA say is it's the way the president did it. They say rather than stepping out forward and owning the issue and saying we want to shut DACA down as a matter of presidential policy, instead the Trump administration said, well, we have to shut it down because it's illegal, it's unconstitutional. The Trump administration says that the DACA program gives benefits to recipients that can only be bestowed by Congress. And for that reason, they say President Obama overreached. But the defenders of DACA say, no, this kind of blanket permission to stay in the country, a promise that the law won't be enforced against them, has been done many times by previous administrations against people from many other countries, and that when that happened, they also got permission to get jobs and get Social Security benefits. And in fact, what they say is the majority of DACA recipients have met the standards of the law. They've gone to school or they joined the military, they've gotten jobs, and by now, many DACA recipients now have children of their own born in the United States who are U.S. citizens. So that's the question here. Did the Trump administration do this right, or did they simply evade responsibility? And is that a problem for them that could cause the Supreme Court to rule that DACA was properly reinstated? Now, the other question is, do the courts have any authority to look at this at all? The Trump administration says no, because this is presidential discretion. The court should bug out. So that's another issue. But you can be sure that whatever the Supreme Court rules, we won't get the ruling until next spring. And that means DACA undoubtedly will be an issue in the presidential campaign. Hallie?
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.